Hello, hello, hello. It's a brand new day, and this is our Morning Connection. How you doing this morning? I'm Skip Cour. I'm so glad you're here for our daily check-in, our daily habit, our daily discipline. Just you and me, a little bit older. That's what we have in common. Probably a lot of other things. Fitness, personal development, wanting to become our best, both inside and outside of the gym. Our personal development. Taking advantage of our gifts, our talents, the opportunities in front of us. Creating as many options as we can with this time we have left on this planet. Tell you, gotta make it happen now at this age, right? If you haven't made it happen before this time, the question is, can you do it? Are you like me? Sometimes I'm thinking, well, I haven't figured this out at this stage of my life. When am I? Is it even possible? Right? Are you that way too? And you don't want to settle, right? One thing that I've noticed, you tell me if this is true for you, because I talk to men our age like all the time, is that I don't think we grow past the mental and emotional age of 27, right? I always find that common as we're watching professional sports or something like that, and we think, well, I can hang with that guy. I'm thinking, this guy's 30 years younger than you, Skip. What are you even talking about, right? But I sometimes think, and that's a good thing. We have hopefully, right? We have our energy, our enthusiasm, right? And that's great. That is awesome to have that optimism. But sometimes just hoping and having the best intentions. And one thing I said, sometimes I think there's nobody got more of the best intentions than me, willing to do the work than I have. And a lot of times, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your good intention. It doesn't matter how hard you work. Got to be smart. Got to be resourceful. Got to be gritty. Got to crack the code. Figure out the pattern. And something I always remind you as we sign off everything, that everything in life runs in patterns. The biggest challenge in front of you, whether it's with your relationship with your spouse. You want to have a spouse, and you got to work on your relationships. Your relationships in business. Even when you deal with people, it takes a little bit of trust, takes a little bit of trust in yourself that you can be influential and persuasive. But even with other people, there's just a pattern that you got to catch on to, maybe more complicated than some other patterns out there. But you can figure it out. You can figure it out with your business, making more money, even at our advanced age. Right? Whatever impact you want to make that you haven't made before, I got to remind myself that everything runs in a pattern. I just got to figure it out. And I can figure it out if I focus my willpower, focus, energy, and time truly to that area that I say I want to master. But at this age, man, if we don't figure it out now, when are we going to figure it out, right? Living that with that sense of urgency. Hey, this is our check-in. Hey, did you wake up this morning with your game face on? How are things going for you? Hope they're going well. And if they're not going well, what are we going to do to make that a little bit better situation? Once you go to bed at night, before, go to bed, you wake up with me, think about what you thought about that one thing you're going to do that's going to put you ahead. Some 5-minute job, some 5-hour job, whatever it is that you're going to do every single day, and think about that every time the music comes on, you see me joining you in the morning. What is that one thing? Little by little, we're going to condition our mind to know what we want every single day and go after it. All right, I want to acknowledge you for being here, whether you're here watching me live on Facebook. I really want you to join me 3 o'clock every single morning to start your day live. That would be awesome if we can create that connection every single day. Once you look forward, I look forward to seeing you. I hope you're starting to look forward to seeing me every morning. But if you're watching on a replay version on YouTube, if you came over from my Twitter or Instagram or LinkedIn, that's fine too. Thinking about even pushing this a little bit further and broadcasting this when we get the pattern down here, broadcasting it on Facebook, Periscope, and on YouTube all at the same time, right? Taxing my setup here. Maybe even get an Instagram live going at the same time. I can set this up in this studio. Wouldn't that be awesome? Right? Yeah. Always trying to make things complex, always pushing, always putting the stress on myself. And that's what I want to talk about in today's connection, about stress. Right? Is stress something that we should avoid, right? Life is short, right? We got more time behind us. Do we avoid the stress? Right? You hear people say that, hey, life's too short to be stressing out, right? How do we deal with stress? How do you even look at stress? right? I want to give you a unique perspective. Well, I don't know how unique it is. I want to give you my perspective as I go through this journey of life, and I deal with so many guys just like you about stress, the best way to handle it or not to handle it or to avoid it. What's best for you? I want to do that for you and a lot more during our quick connection. Let's see who we have this morning joining us. Really enjoy making this connection. I look forward to seeing you guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I love the good mornings every single day, creating this community here. All right. Brian, good morning to you, sir. Good to have you here. Eb, good morning. Good morning to you, sir. Jenner, good morning. Coach, good morning to you, sir, Jenner. And James. James, good to see you, brother. Good to have you here. All right, so let's talk about stress. Are you going through some stress right now? You're not. Why not? Right? Are you going through stress? How are you handling it? You know, one thing that, I go through a lot of self-awareness. I've always been fascinated with the mind, right? Always playing sports, my bodybuilding career and business, everything after it, right? Even, cracking the code, figuring out the pattern to relationships. It seems like everything, probably except for the genetics for bodybuilding, everything I think has been a challenge, right? It hasn't just come to me. And I'm one of those guys, I don't know, maybe in the middle of the pack. I got to work harder, I think, than most people. I got to be resourceful. I got to be gritty. I got to be focused. I got to line everything up. And so as I'm trying to take, again, relationships, how those can be. I mean, taking those to higher and higher, to experience more, to give more. My relationship with you, the value I create. Business is the ultimate game. I mean, wow, business. I'm so excited, transitioning out of bodybuilding, because that was a gigantic game, and it was the game within the game, not only your physical body and the training, the eating, and the competing, but then, how do I get my articles published? How do I make an impact pre-internet days? And when the internet came around, that was a ultimate game. And now business connecting with you, it's just such a fascinating game. Before that, if you know my story, I worked in the grocery store for 15 years, working my way up the ladder there before I quit to chase my dreams. That's led me to where you are, where I am right now with you. I don't necessarily consider myself to just be so brilliant, but I do work hard, and I want to think I'm flexible to figure out the patterns, that belief. But I've always been fascinated with the mind. I've always been, pushing myself, just like you. That's why you're watching this. And when it comes to the subject of stress, right? And again, what I'm saying is that, so I think from my own journey, I've always been fascinated by other people, what drives them, and then helping them, right? And I coach so many people, but really it's my kids, it's my wife, we're all going through this journey. And I just think it's a superpower. We all have these things that maybe we're talented, maybe we're not, maybe it's just at a young age we just start focusing on a certain thing. And I think that was me. I remember, very early listening to AM radio about all the talk shows and people's challenges. I've always been fascinated with that, right? So whether it's innate gift, it's just something I focused on for many, many years for whatever crazy reasons, or a combination of both. Looking at a situation with tearing it apart, objectivity and perspective. And that's why I just love doing so much with my guys with the one-on-one coaching as they're going through challenges, helping them see the tremendous opportunities in front of them, the emotions to experience, the path to take, how they can even get more out of what they're doing, right? And certainly the objectivity perspective to work through their challenges, see things, escape routes of whatever challenge is, a different way of looking at it, to make a bad situation average and then eventually good. I just think that's like my superpower. I deal with so many men to give them insight and perspective of handling their challenges, right? So that's the perspective I come from. So I'm always looking, well, what would I pass along to my kids? What I wish I would have learned about this journey of life. And so that's a lot of the reason that where I come from. If you ask yourself certain questions, you're always going to come up with answers. If you ask yourself questions that other people don't ask, about whatever it is you're focusing, you're going to be better. Because just by focus by asking yourself these questions. And one thing that is that regardless of whatever I've accomplished, it's a subject of stress, right? And it's so normal you got to avoid stress. Stress is bad for you and those type of things, right? But how much stress you can handle or what even stress means to you, the severity of it, that's all in your mind. How strong you are, mentally tough, emotionally tough, right? That will determine what's stressful to you may not be stressful to somebody else, and certainly what's stressful to the masses, the guys who don't listen to this kind of stuff, right? What's stressing them out, what's challenging for them isn't going to be challenging for you, right? So it's just all relative. If there's anything I could have done, I think I would have leaned into the stress a lot more, because one thing I've realized, and I realized, the life that I have now, it's stressful, right? And again, that's relative. I don't need anybody's, sympathy or empathy. But what I realized is there's no way, even like 15 years ago when I was a bodybuilder, there is absolutely no way I could have even conceived handling all the variables, all the stress that I'm dealing with today. And I think, wow, that's a good thing, that I'm strong enough, But here's another thing. The stress that I deal with now it's my choice, number one. Number two is, I don't even know if I could have, this would have been a dream to handle so many things. It would have been a dream 2 years ago. And what doesn't stress me out would have killed me, well, figuratively, a couple years ago. Stress and handling it is just like a muscle. You gotta lean in and work it. Just like if, I don't know, on the bench press, right? You try your weight, can't get it, get some spotters, right? Get some help, think about it, right? Think about it, right? Don't just run into it, and you can't do it, but you just keep on going for it, right? Just thinking about, rethinking about, asking yourself questions, how you break through, and then you can lift it, and before you know it, that's your regular workout weight, right? Is that such a physical thing? Could be, or is it mental too? And how much is mental? That's what I think about stress, right? If we were going to get what we want at this age with the time we have left, the answer may not to be avoid stress and wait until we think we can handle it, or we'll come up with the right strategy or this or that. Maybe it's you just dealing with the short-term failure or a setback or disappointment or whatever, but then you build that muscle. I want, with the time we have left, right? I want 2 years from now, whatever you're dealing with that's so stressful now, it's like nothing. But you got to do the work. You got to lean in. You got to feel the pressure of it now. If you want those things, again, the best things in life are reserved for those who are the mentally and emotionally toughest. That's what this is all about, mental toughness conditioning. I want to do a little of that, introduce that to you every single day. And those are who are the mentally and emotionally most flexible, all right? Resourceful and flexible, gritty. All right, so think about that when it comes to stress. Good morning, Gani. Good morning, Ben. Good to have you here. Ben, I love, after you take this all in, you kind of think of the biggest pull quotes, what you found most valuable, and post it down below in your quotes. I love that, Ben. So we all should be doing that. That will help me, right? We should call this the Ben exercise, right? The Ben Morning Connection exercise, because when he is watching over on Facebook, so if you're on YouTube or on LinkedIn, what he does is that he just posts down below the little pull quotes, because I'm up here just riffing, just going for it, just letting it come through me, what it is I want to share with you and then he pulls out what he finds most valuable. That's one question with my one-on-one coaches. Every single call, we can talk for an hour every single week, right? Getting them focused, getting them clear, giving them that objectivity and perspective for their goals. One thing I do when we come on to our conference line, every call is recorded. It's like, they're prepared. They fill out a form and submit it to me an hour before, at least before each session. Then I'll ask them, tell me one thing you want to get out of this call today. I want to give you that and a whole lot more, right? So they know what they want before they even enter the situation. You got a lot better chance of getting what you want when you know what you want. And then we go through the process. Maybe it's a direct line, maybe it's specific, maybe we bounce around as I get them focused on where they're going. I help them get focused on where they're going. And then I ask them, at least right now, tell me one thing that you found most valuable about this time together. Right? Just having them think about all the value they just got. right? And then they fill out a form the next day, and I take them through a series of questions, right? It's a discipline, it's habits, it's structure. It's not just two guys talking. It's that and a whole lot more, right? But one thing that I love about this, what Ben does is he just, I don't know, said, you got to take on more stress. I'm just kind of thinking about what I talked about so far, right? The greatest things in life, the best things in life to experience are reserved for those who are the mentally and emotionally toughest, or the mentally and emotionally flexible at the same time, right? Maybe that, about this whole idea of stress, right? What you take out of it. So this is what Ben, the Ben exercise here that I want you to post down below, whether you're watching me on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever. Ben says, stress is like a muscle. You have to lean in until it is your regular workout weight. You got to do the work. The best things in life are reserved for those who are the most mentally and physically toughest. Mentally and emotionally, actually, is what I said there. Thanks, Skip. The Ben exercise, I like it. I like it too. So you guys post down below. You can, if you don't want to be public, right? This is just you and me. It's just you and me. If you just send me an email at skip@skiplacour.com. Send me a direct message, a private message. I want you to do your exercise, what you found most valuable out of this time. That helps me too. That helps me really come here, know the value, lean in to it. Hello, Jack. If I haven't said good morning to you, good morning to you, sir. All right, so that's going to do it for today's connection. Remember, we got more time behind us than we do in front of us. We got to take on this day with a sense of urgency, right? Lean into that stress if that's what it takes to get stronger, right? So this is our regular weight. Got to produce, right, at work, your business. Make that business happen. Move a little bit closer today, right? Love, connect, your legacy. Let's do it all. Let's be that total package. Let's do it with a sense of urgency. Let's take on the day. Remember, everything runs in patterns. Some things are more complex than others. If you haven't figured it out, I don't care if it's relationships, business, financial, or your physical body. Everything runs in patterns. You will figure it out. If you are gritty, you're resourceful, you're persistent enough, you lean into the stress. Hey, let me help you figure out the pattern. As you can tell, not only the patterns have I figured out, I've had so much experience helping out other men like you figure out the pattern, right? All the coaching and guidance and the mentors who I've worked for, all this stuff that I come with you, all right? Let me help you figure out the pattern. It's my superpower. Take advantage. I don't want you to eat. How many years do we have left? You want to figure this out in 5 years? Maybe in 10 minutes. I can get you on the right path. Reach out. I'm going to talk to you today. Go to talkwithskip.com. Talkwithskip.com. Set up 10 or 15 minutes, absolutely free. Let me help you figure out the pattern. All right, remember to expect the best from yourself today. Expect the best from your efforts, and expect the best from other people. They're going to get you. They're going to know what's in your heart. They know the value that you provide. Just expect the best from them. They'll get you, all right? Expect the best from yourself. Expect the best from your efforts. Expect the best from other people, and have a great day.